So movie number one, we saw the new Minions the Monsters film. Minions the Monsters is a 2026 animated prequel from Illumination set in 1920s Hollywood where the Minions try to make their own monster movie, accidentally unleashing real monsters and having to save the world. It is the third Minions film and the seventh film in the Despicable Me franchise. Now the lesson I got from the new Minions movie is a simple character engine creates a timeless brand. The Minions are the modern version of classical theatrical cartoons. They follow the same formula as Looney Tunes, the MGM cartoons, even the Three Stooges. The characters are simple, but the situations are massive. A strong comedic engine comes from putting simple characters into serious situations. Of all the stuff that I learned from this movie, it made me thought about my character, Dad John Gilbert, Made me thought about what is Gilbert's engine, It's not what jokes Gilbert tell. Instead, it's what happens when Gilbert enters any situation, The characters should create stories automatically. So I gotta figure out what follows Gilbert. I look at Gilbert as my equivalent of Jim Varney's Ernest. So if you like Ernest Scared and Stupid, you're gonna love Gilbert Scared Shitless. But it's more than making a funny character. The Minions are more than movie characters at this point. They are brand mascots. I read this article how the Minions became Hollywood's mightiest franchise, and I realized Illumination didn't just build popular characters, they built characters that audience could use. That distinction explains why the Minions became more than a film franchise. Chris Meledandri, the CEO of Illumination, pointed out that fan-made content has freedom because it isn't official. Trying to please every meme weakens organic culture, and the Minions became an internet currency because people could remix them without asking permission. Which teaches me that I have to build ideas that invite participation instead of protecting every interpretation. With the Minions, they created a blank canvas, not just a character. The Minions can fit any joke, any historical period, any meme, any situation because they're visually simple and emotional neutral. They become whatever the audience needs them to become. So when it comes to characters like Old Man Miles, I have to make sure they have the same flexibility. This article also made me realize that a franchise succeeds when the fans market it for you. I remember a few years ago they banned guys wearing suits when seeing the Minions movie because of the hashtag #GentleMinions, and that wasn't created by Universal. But that meme dramatically expanded the audience, especially teenagers who normally wouldn't attend animated movies on opening weekend. With that in mind, that makes me think I gotta create stories and characters that produces challenges and inside jokes and catchphrases and rituals that people can copy. So I had to think of the Carlemile equivalent to create recurring story devices that the viewer expects, imitate, and eventually use without my involvement. Illumination spent over a decade making audiences feel familiar with the Minions before they became a cultural phenomenon. The overnight success was built from years of repetition, which teaches me that consistency compounds. Your recurring formats matter more than constantly inventing new ones. The Minions rely on physical comedy, recognizable silhouettes, and almost no spoken language. That makes them exportable across cultures, which means to me, simple wins internationally. Visual storytelling will scale way better than dialogue-heavy storytelling ever could. And I realized the Minions weren't designed around products alone. Their personalities made merchandising, theme park attractions, licensing, and cross-promotion almost inevitable, which tells me that merchandising follows affection. I have to build that beloved intellectual property first before I can even get to do the retail. And if you look at the retail of the Minions, they use the Minions to sell everything. I remember a few years ago, Amazon started advertising on their boxes for the first time, and the Minions was the first ad, I believe, that was advertised on an Amazon box. I've never been into the whole Minions thing, but what caught my attention was the 1920s Hollywood. I'm telling you right now, any filmmakers out there, if you love any 1920s Hollywood stuff, if you like any Hollywood stuff, there's a lot of Hollywood homages and Easter eggs in this film. If you're a big movie buff, this movie's for you. It's a movie about Hollywood, so I'm not surprised that there was some demonic stuff in here, but I could tell you now, some parents are not gonna like that. They're not gonna like that, and I don't blame them.
Why do you taunt me with your darkness? Your evil is stinking up our streets. The end is near. We are all gonna die.
Another lesson I got from the Minions was a character can become bigger than a movie. And the biggest takeaway and lesson for me is lesson number 3. A big movie can be a force for good. Now, in every episode so far, you heard me say the same thing. We're going to make $1 billion and end world hunger. Now, I know some of y'all thought I was joking when I said that, but it's true. I really want to end world hunger. And at AMC, I saw this Minions charity pin campaign with Variety. It made me realize there's definitely a way I could pull this off. The lesson here is you have to connect your story to fans. And with those fans, you can provide them a merchandise. And with that merchandise, you can provide some real world impact. The pin turned audience excitement into helping a real person. So I saw the poster as well as a card in the theater that says, collect a Minions and Monster pin and help a child in need. Your support helps children like Brandon, who lives in a very rare genetic condition. He is unable to walk long distances and uses a manual wheelchair. Variety funded a custom-built adaptive bike for Brandon that allows him to go on family outings to enjoy the outdoors and have more independence and mobility. His bike brings him smiles every time he rides. Seeing that was like a light bulb moment. It made me realize I can do something similar. And I believe a movie shouldn't only sell tickets. A movie is an opportunity to create an ecosystem where merchandising can fund causes, events can create communities, fans participate in the mission. The $1 billion is not the end goal. The money is only a tool for the real goal at the end of the day. I could use one of my films as a force for good. Now granted, I know you can't end world hunger overnight, but I see this as an opportunity to at least make a dent. So best believe I'm going to create a pin that's going to help us end world hunger. But until then, check out variety.org for more information on how you can help their cause.